We all have subscriptions, and we all tend to forget about our subscriptions, right? And that does tend to get frustrating because you're like, oh, I'm going to cancel. And the next thing you forget, and you forgot that you have this subscription. And when you do it, then you have to go through multiple pages. You may have to call. You're put on hold. They may say that there's a fee for breaking the contract, whatever the case may be. So it's frustrating because it's like, all I want is the subscription to be canceled so I don't get charged another month. That's the new play right now, subscriptions. And the FTC said, we need to make this a little bit more easier for you. And what I mean by that is the FTC just passed a new rule this week that said subscription providers will be required to inform customers what they're signing up for, obtain customer consent, and provide clear mechanisms to cancel. And they're saying companies will soon make it easy to cancel a subscription as they made it to sign up for under a new Federal Trade Commission rule aimed at ending predatory business practices that lock consumers into paying for services they don't want. Now, they said if you sign up for an account online, the company must provide a simple way to cancel the subscription online. And if you sign up in person, you must be allowed to cancel in person or over the phone. Now, they're saying also the rule requires companies to provide clear and truthful information to subscribers about what they're signing up for and obtain consent before enrolling them in a negative option feature, which is a subscription model in which the customers is signed up for a service and continuously charged unless they take additional, often hidden steps to reject the subscription. Now, they're saying that businesses often make people jump through endless hoops and hurdles just to cancel a subscription. And they said the FTC rule would end these tricks and traps, saving Americans time and money. And they said nobody should be stuck with paying for a service they no longer want. Now, they're also saying that the FTC approved the new rule 3-2, and several provisions were removed from the agency's earlier draft of the rule, including a requirement that sellers remind customers of their ability to opt out of a subscription annually, and a requirement that sellers obtain customers' consent before offering them additional deals in order to entice them to stay in a subscription, which is very interesting. So they removed all of that. Okay, that was part of the earlier draft, but they're saying that they took those two addendums out of it. Okay, and then they said most of these rules will take effect 180 days after it's published in the Federal Register. All right, and they said business groups seeking to kill the new rule. Their complaint is that they receive very few complaints from customers who are unable to cancel their subscription, and that adding a simple click to cancel feature to websites would lead customers to accidentally cancel services that they actually wanted. But in its announcement of the new rule, the FTC said the number of complaints it received about a difficult to cancel subscription has been on the rise from 42 per day in 2021 up to 70 per day in 2024. So they're saying that the agency has also sued several prominent tech companies for operating predatory subscription services. They're saying that Amazon duped millions of people into enrolling in Amazon Prime and then used dark patterns to make it difficult to cancel subscriptions. And then they said also Adobe Creative Cloud of making it difficult to cancel its services and hiding information about the early termination fees that it charged customers. So that's a lot, but the FTC said we're going to change all of that. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think of the FTC making it easier to break your subscription? On your phone, let us know. This needed to be done. Glad they did it. 2, I didn't think it was a big deal. 3, so you saying I can cancel with no hassle? 4, these companies will find a way to loop us back in. Or 5, I don't trust it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let us know in the comments. What do you think of the FTC making it easier to break your subscription? Your thoughts, Revis?
I think it's wonderful. I think there's a lot of people that has a lot of subscriptions that they don't even use, probably don't even know they still have them, and it make it so hard to cancel this stuff. So if they can make it easy, then I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
I'm glad the FTC stepped in.
Okay. Um, I don't really have a say in this. I mean, I think the biggest thing is I remember having Adobe last year, and when I had Adobe, I wanted to cancel it, and they gave me some issues, and I didn't like it, and I just said, you know what, let me just ride out the last 2 months that I have. And Adobe is expensive. I think it's $49.99 a month just to be able to use the features. And Adobe is cool. Don't get me wrong. They have a for what it offers, it's worth it. But if you need to cancel for whatever reason, they're sticking you with the remaining part of the bill, which is not fair. But I do think that one of those addendums should have been added inside of this. And I think if I'm correct, it requires sellers to remind customers of their ability to opt out of a subscription annually. I think that it reminds you, because if you don't put on your calendar or in your notes to set a reminder to cancel a subscription, you're going to get mad when you get hit with that $24.95, that $59.99, or that $9.99, and maybe it was something that was annual, and then you forgot about it, and then they turn around and say you got hit with another year. I would be upset over that situation. So I think that's something that they should have forced and said this has to go inside of this service over here. I think
But
that's
they're
something that should
forcing
have
it a
been done.
different way.
Hmm.
They're forcing it a different way. They're exacting their product on you.
I see
You
you
try
trying
to
to find a way
cancel.
to use that word exact, man. It's the Lab Tech Show. Join us Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern at thelabtechshow.com. Embrace it or get left behind.
Alrighty then.